How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Jose, aka TheNYCGeek, aka TNG, aka your Elden Lord. Even on the hot sands of Arrakis, still your Elden Lord, aka the one who will sit the throne today, aka your tribal chief, aka the guy who just got back from a late showing of Dune 2. Okay? Now, first off, it wasn't that, I guess it was semi-late, it was like 7 o'clock, but that's a long movie. It's 3 hours. You're not going to feel it. You're not going to feel it, but it just be prepared that it's something 3 hours of your life that you're going to be investing into that film. But it's worth it? Yes. Let me just say that right off the bat. I loved it. It was great. Now, to go a little bit deeper into it, I want to preface this. I've never read the books. I didn't know jack about the books. I still don't. So I haven't read them. Maybe someday I will. Apparently, this is just book one, which is crazy because this is epic as hell. And that's just like the first book. Let me know in the comments if you've read the books, if I'm right on that. Again, I don't know anything about Dune except two things. One, that the sandworms in Beetlejuice were based off of Dune, and two, that line "the spice must flow," which I've been told was never in the novels, is based off the first movie adaptation. But goddamn, that's a great line. I love that line. The spice must flow. I've used it for years, never having read Dune. But yeah, this is I watched Dune 1, not on 2021 when it came out. I didn't get to watch it in the theaters, which is a shame because I've been told by many a person that this was a film worth watching in IMAX, and I missed out on that. But I did get to watch it at home, and I remember when I watched the first one, I was like, "Damn, this is good. This is like real epic science fiction." And I'm not a huge science fiction guy. I'm not a big sci-fi guy, but this had me roped in because it still it melds in some great feudal aspects to it. So I watched Dune 1, was really excited about that. And then Dune 2 comes out, and I loved it, man. It really, it's on par with that first one. That first one, I don't know if I would say it's the greatest movie out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I've never read Dune. I don't have that investment. So you guys got to tell me if it was an amazing adaptation. I feel like it was, right? But even still, it's a goddamn great movie. It's an awesome movie. It's like if I had to give it a number, just a random number off the top of my head, I really can't find very much wrong with this movie. Like, it's that, and that's the first one and the second one. There's a little bit of pacing issues here, but the actors are awesome. And Stellan Skarsgård, man, that guy is so good at acting. It's got Josh Brolin. It's got a lot of other actors. Zendaya, she's okay. There's times. It's funny because especially in this movie, there are times where I could get into her character, right? Like I could get into her character when she was being, when she was talking to like the rest of her tribe and whatnot. But when she was, because she's the main love interest of the main character, I was just like, when it was the two of them, I wasn't really buying it. But that's okay because again, this was a really good movie. That, like I said, the acting, the action, when there is action, it's there. It's so good. The political intrigue, the setting, the world. So, okay. Hold on, wait, before I get into the world, because that's my favorite thing. I'll say it, I'm going to break this down. It's not going to be a long video. It's not going to be as long as my last video where I put, a breakdown of the validity of honest criticism and why a certain filmmaker / critic needs to really evaluate that. Okay, but not going to be as long as that. And I'm just going to sum it up with, I really recommend you watch it. You got to watch the first one. You have to watch the first one before you try to watch this one, and you really got to pay attention because there's a lot happening. But to break it down a little bit more for me, my favorite part of all this, and this is not a spoiler, I'm not going to ruin anything, but my favorite part about this series so far has been the world. I am a sucker for an amazing setting. It is why I love, you see all those books there? I talked about in my Baldur's Gate review. These are all Forgotten Realms books. I am a huge sucker for an amazing setting, and that more than anything, more than the characters, more than the plot, that alone is drawing me into wanting to read these books, okay? That's why, as much as I can't stand George R. R. Martin, I will always give him the credit for saying that, to me, the top thing that he's always done was he made an amazing setting with Westeros, and I've mentioned that before. So I love that. The special effects, the music, the acting, the plot, the pacing. Only a little bit of the pacing in this one for the first maybe third part of the film was a little kind of like, where are we going with this? Like, are we speeding this up? Are we not speeding this up? Sometimes things felt like it was going a little too quick, but again, I can forgive that because I've been told that this is it takes place much faster than it does in the books. In the books, it's supposed to take years, and this is taking place in the span of months. And there is a character that is a good indicator of a passage of time. But yeah, no, I really don't want to go much longer into this, other than if you like science fiction, or if you have, if you're like me, that you're like kind of on the fence with science fiction, sometimes you need something as epic as Star Trek to really pull you in, or previous Star Wars. Yeah, you got to check this out. This is a really good film. This is one of those movies that I almost want. I would love to get my wife to watch it, but she's not gonna have the attention span to watch this. She's gonna be like, dude, I'm not sitting down for 3 hours unless it's Lord of the Rings. Now, I have seen some two things I want to touch on before I head out. Is I've seen some people comparing this to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I don't know about all that. Like, let's not lose our minds, okay? This is not even close to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm gonna say that up front. Not to me anyway. It's not. Is it a great story? Absolutely. And maybe maybe this is the science fiction version of Lord of the Rings. I don't know. But yeah, this is not that. So I want to, but I do want to look at so far, and this is not. I rarely ever touch on this website because this site is like a piece of shit for this. But yeah, it looks like Rotten Tomatoes is 95% for Dune Part 2. This movie just came out, and it's got 95% fresh. Yeah, I'll bring it over here and bring it on the big screen for y'all. Here you go. Oh, that big, and here, 95% tomato. It's fresh, critic review, and 96 audience score. Again, look, take that for, I don't give a fuck about this, right? I don't care about the 95% critic score, because clearly we've seen critics that are certified on this site that are, on the Rotten Tomatoes board, and yeah, okay, so take that for that what you will. But this does kind of, I do like to look at this and pay attention to audience score, especially when it's people that are like breaking it down and they're talking about it a little bit more. Like this, I get, look, my man was like, I'm just gonna put this here, very well produced and entertaining sequel. But I love seeing these kind of things. But when I see someone putting like a this, or even this, like this person put 3 stars and they gave a reason why, right? They gave a reason why. I don't want to, again, don't look too much because I look like that had some spoilers there. So, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But yeah, that's one of the 2 things that I wanted to touch on real quick. And the second thing that I wanted to touch on was this movie had $190 million budget, a nearly $200 million budget. And I'm going to tell you, I can see where every dollar of that went. And I bring that up because it's so funny, right? You have films like The Marvels that cost almost $300 million to make. You've got shows like The Rings of Power that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. How much did what did Rings of Power cost? Off the top of my head, I can't fucking remember, but I know it was like 200, 500 something. It was some ridiculous thing. I can't remember because I've been trying to block that show out of my mind. But you see those shows, you see that movie, you don't know where the hell the dollars went, right? You watch this movie, you watch Dune, and you can see where every single dollar went. It went to awesome set pieces. It went to damn good special effects. It went to music. It went to costumes. It went to everything. You could tell the difference. Go watch Dune 2. Okay? I'm going to leave it with that. I can't praise it enough. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that review. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys have seen Dune, okay, here, real quick. If you guys have seen Dune 2 already, tell me what you thought. Especially mention to me, please, if you are a book reader. If you have read the books, tell me your thoughts. Be honest. If you didn't like it, that's fine. That's fine. Just tell me. Be like, hey, you know why? I didn't like it because it was very different from the adaptation and from the novels, and they adapted too far. Let me know. I seriously, truly want to know. because I kind of want to jump into these books, but I'd love to hear from other people who have already read them and they started reading these movies. I also, I don't know if there's more coming out of this, because again, this is supposedly just the first book, and there's many more books. Oh, Jesus. So yeah, this is a great start to a great sci-fi series. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Have a happy Friday. Please, 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 your time is precious. I always thank you for spending it here, sharing it with me. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there.